Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to today's StreamYard 101 live webinar. I'm your host, Dana Benz. I already see so many people hanging out in the live chat, so thank you so much for tuning in today and for just letting us know where you're tuning in from. It's always so fun to see where everyone is from. I saw NYC, I saw Frank in Nigeria. This is so fun. Uptown Brown in Boston. So we're all over the place. I'm here in Portland where StreamYard is headquarters. So thank you so much, Zentrum. Hello. Mark is here. Hello. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. So today's agenda, we have a lot to cover, so I want to jump right into it. But we're going to talk about everything about StreamYard. Like, this is a 101 webinar, so it's really for the people who just started using StreamYard. Maybe you've just signed up and you haven't even played around with any of our features yet, or this webinar is for you if you've just played around with it maybe just a little bit, but want to use the full functionality, start using all the features of StreamYard and learn to optimize your live streams. So the schedule today is I'm going to walk through a brief overview of live streaming in general. We're going to talk about StreamYard, why live streaming is a great form of content marketing. And then I'm going to pull up my screen to give you an actual walkthrough of the StreamYard Studio. So you'll see me show overlays and show video clips and pull up banners. And I'm going to invite a guest on. So you'll see how that part works. We're going to talk about simulcasting, which is also known as multi-streaming to multiple platforms. And then at the end, I like to save time for a live Q&A to give you guys time to ask me questions if I skipped over something or if I didn't touch on something. And I already saw one comment about a question that we are going to touch on today. Let me see if I can find it from earlier. Dr. Solomon says, hello, how do you set up an event to be scheduled on YouTube? So we're going to talk about scheduling your YouTube live streams, which is actually what I did today for this webinar. I scheduled a live stream on YouTube. It's private, so I only sent the link out to you guys who registered for my webinar, but we're going to talk about that today. So let me know if you have questions throughout the webinar, since I think we're going to be a little bit of a smaller group today. I'll be able to answer questions while I'm going through the demo, but if I miss anything, don't worry. We'll save time at the end for all your questions. So thank you everyone for tuning in. And so Frank from Live Gigs says, I love your intro music. What is the title? You know, that's a good question. I'll have to ask my graphic designer who put that video together, and I'll get back to you, Frank, on that one. I like the tune too. And we have, Austria, very cool. Welcome. Well, thanks everyone for being here. And like I said, if at any time you have questions for me or comments, let me know in the chat. But the first thing we're going to touch on is, what is StreamYard? So somehow you've heard about StreamYard and you're signed up for this webinar, but what StreamYard is the easiest way to produce really professional live streams. So StreamYard has a lot of features that allow you to add videos to your live stream, like I did to start this webinar off. It allows you to add logos to your stream, like mine here in this corner, my little StreamYard logo. You can add lower thirds, which is this little what is StreamYard banner, lower third I have up there. And you can add graphics and all kinds of things to your live streams. So it really makes your shows a lot more professional, but all of this is easy to do. Like, we can literally walk through the whole process of setting up a destination, which is where you'll stream to, adding all of the graphics you're going to add to your stream, even inviting a guest and going live. It can be done within the hour. So very easy to use tool. We also like to note that we run in the browser. So we're cloud-based, which just means that there's nothing you have to download to your computer. There's no software that you have to download, which is really nice for a couple of reasons. First off, it allows you to use any device that just has a web browser. So you can connect on your iPad or tablet or phone. And it's just a lot easier for your device to make a really high-powered professional live stream. And the second thing that being cloud-based is really nice for is that it makes it a lot easier to invite your guests to your stream. So we're gonna walk through the whole invite a guest process. But what your guest sees is you just send them a link to your StreamYard stream, and then they click on the link and then they're in your studio and now they're ready to join you on your live stream. They don't have to download anything. They don't have to sign up for anything. It's just so much more of a smooth process. Very easy. Easy for you as the host of the stream, like I'm the host of my stream, and very easy for the guest, my guest that's going to join the stream. So the next thing I like to talk about is, why is live streaming even important? Why should you live stream? And the biggest reason is that it's such a great form of content marketing. And you've probably heard this term content marketing before. Maybe you do content marketing now. You can think of this as things like podcast, blog post, video uploads, types of content that you can use to market yourself or market your business. But there's a big problem with content marketing, and that's that it takes a lot of time. Like, it's very time intensive to write an outline for a blog post, then to write the whole blog post, then go back and edit the blog post. Maybe you have an editor. Now you got to put the graphics together for the blog post. Time spent on creating that piece of content, it's just so time intensive. And where live streaming comes in is it really cuts out all of that extra time spent on the editing phase, right? Because when you do a live stream show, there's no editing involved. Like, we are live right here, right now. Maybe if I had an interview show where I'm inviting a guest on, the time I have to invest is just the hour-long interview I have. Maybe it's only a 30-minute interview, and then coming up with the questions that I want to ask my guest. And that's the only time involved in creating that great form or great piece of content. And the next reason that, like, it saves you so much time, but it also allows you to create better content for a couple of reasons. One is that it creates more engaging content. And the social media platforms really like this because they want you to stay as engaged as possible on their platforms, like on YouTube, on Facebook, because that's how they make the most money, is by you being engaged. And so what live streaming lets you do is show comments on the screen, like I've been doing in the beginning. You can engage with your viewers. Like, I can say, hi, Kelsey in NYC, and hi, Angel from South Carolina. So you're able to actually talk to your viewers. And people have come up with really creative ways to engage with their audience members even more, like doing a live giveaway, being able to hand out do a raffle on the live stream. So that creates even more engagement with your viewers. So that's really how you can actually grow your audience from really starting from scratch. And I always like to share this. I like to share this story because the StreamYard co-founders really grew their StreamYard show from scratch to what it is today. They still go live every single Sunday nights. It's called the StreamYard Live Town Hall. And when they started that StreamYard show, we had about 50 users of StreamYard. So only 50 people used StreamYard at that point. And they went live every single week, and they would talk to you guys, users of StreamYard, and they would say, hey, what features do you want us to add? Here are the new updates on StreamYard. Here's what you need to know. And so every single week they went live, talked to users, and that community has grown to now we have over 200,000 monthly active broadcasters on StreamYard. So 200,000 people use StreamYard, and a big contributor to that growth was this live stream, because they didn't put too much marketing efforts in elsewhere. They didn't run too many ads. So they really were able to grow this stream just by being consistent, just by engaging with their audience members. They really made it grow from no followers to now, I think the last Sunday episode had 180 live viewers. So it's really grown in that time. So the next thing I want to talk about before, oh wow, Henry from the Philippines. That's awesome. Wonderful. Okay. And John says, spotty connection here, no problem. Will this be saved and accessible later? Yes, absolutely. So this is a YouTube video. So I'm live on YouTube right now. So you can just take the URL, the link at the top that you see in the address bar. You can just save that somewhere. And that's how you can come back to this video, and I'll leave it up for you. But I'll also, if you registered for the webinar, I'll also email you the link to it just so you have it in case you want to come back to it. Good question. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to touch on before I bring up the whole studio and we can do full walkthrough is your equipment. So a lot of people ask, well, hey, what equipment do I need? What kind of mic, what kind of camera do I need to get started live streaming? And we really like to keep things easy. So we like to say you can start with what you have. You can get started with your built-in web camera. You can get started with your headphones, microphone. You can even get started with your phone. You can stream from your iPhone or Android. You don't have to complicate things. Like, you can just get started with what you have. Make sure that you have a pretty good internet connection. StreamYard doesn't need much internet. You don't need high speeds. You need a really solid, stable connection. So that's why we recommend plugging into your router. You don't have to do that. You can just be as close to your router on Wi-Fi as possible. So just focusing on getting started. Then you can kind of upgrade down the road if you want to get fancy and get an external camera, get an external microphone, set up a studio with lights. You can do that down the road, but you don't have to do that to get started. You can just get started with the equipment that you have, because like I said, StreamYard runs on almost every single device. So you don't need too tech heavy of a device to get started. Okay, so I'm just checking the comments, and oh, perfect. John says, thanks. Absolutely. So I'm bringing up my screen so we can get started in the live demo. So if you've never logged into StreamYard before, this is going to be the first page you get to. You can also get to this page just by clicking destinations here on the left if you've already logged into StreamYard. But one nice thing to note before we talk about destinations is that StreamYard doesn't save passwords. So when you log in, you're just logging in with a 6-digit code that gets emailed to you. You type in your email, we send you a code, and then you type that code into StreamYard. And we did this for a couple of reasons, but the biggest reason was we thought this is the safest way to keep your account safe. Like, there's no password that could possibly get hacked because we don't have passwords. So as long as your email account stays safe, your StreamYard account is going to stay safe. Absolutely. So we are here on the destinations page. Now, these places, you've probably heard of all of these places, but these are all the destinations StreamYard can stream to. And we have direct integrations with each of these platforms. So we're an approved partner of them. And so you'll see Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and then this RTMP. We're not going to talk about this one today, but this is if you wanted to stream anywhere else. Like, if you wanted to stream somewhere that StreamYard doesn't integrate with, you can still stream there with the RTMP option. An example of this is like Vimeo or your own website, for example. So for this demo, I already have my destinations added here, so I can go back. So I was in the added destinations page, but I've already added all my destinations here, so I don't need to do this. So if you need to go back and add, just click add. And then once you click which one you want to connect, you'll just be walked through a couple of steps, granting StreamYard permissions to go live to your page, but we never make any posts without you authorizing them. So every time you click go live from StreamYard, we're able to make a live stream post on your social media platforms. Okay. So that's it about destinations. You can connect as many as you want here. I have very many. The limitations are only for the multi-streaming part, which we're going to talk about that next when I actually make a live stream. I'm going to create a live stream. We'll talk about multi-streaming, but to get everything connected, you can add as many as you need. So now we can talk about the broadcasts tab. So the broadcasts tab is all of your live streams. We have upcoming ones, so you'll see all my upcoming shows. This is the stream I'm actually live in. And then all the past broadcasts, these are just live streams you already did. So we'll talk about that after I go live. Angel asks, what about Marco Polo and Instagram? I'm not familiar with Marco Polo, but Instagram doesn't allow you to stream to Instagram from a third party. So they only allow you to stream on Instagram, on the Instagram app. So as soon as they change those rules or those policies, then we'll definitely add Instagram. But right now they don't allow it. That's a good question though. Okay. Let me know if you can see this okay, if you want me to resize my screen. I want to make sure the writing is still clear for you. So you'll see I have a couple of upcoming shows and my current show. And before I make a new broadcast, I want to touch on these 3 dots over here that's on every upcoming show you have. So when I click on the 3 dots, you'll see, let's do this show. I'll click on the 3 dots and then there's 2 really important links. So the first link is invite a guest. The second link is view on YouTube. And we're going to talk about the big difference between the 2. But I always like to really harp on this point because it's very important not to give the wrong link to someone. So when I click on the 3 dots here, I click invite a guest. Invite a guest is the guest link to invite someone to your stream that you want to have on screen with you. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to invite my guest into the stream in a few minutes when I get into the studio, but this is the link I'll send her. Now you can send this to, you can have up to 10 people on the screen on the paid plans, and you can have up to 6 people on the screen on the free plans. So this is the link I'm going to send only to the people I want on screen with me. This is not the viewer link. So it's really important. You don't want to send this link out publicly because it's just for guests. Now this view on YouTube link is for viewers. And this is pretty easy to remember just because view on YouTube, this is for the viewer. So viewer. So this is the link that'll take you to the actual scheduled YouTube live stream. And you'll be able to get the link to send all your viewers. So you can post this. You can post this on your other social media platforms. You can send this link out. Maybe you have an email list and you want to send this out. So this is the viewer link. This is the invited guest link. Then we just have edit and delete. These ones are super self-explanatory. If you wanted to edit your stream or just delete it altogether, you can do that here. But the invited guest is for on-screen and the view on YouTube is for viewers. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, we can create a new broadcast for this demo. Okay, Larry says, hey, this is Larry from Chicago. Thank you for tuning in. What about e-commerce applications? So do you want to stream to an e-commerce platform, Larry? Let me know in the comments because we don't integrate with any e-commerce platforms at the moment, but it really depends. If your platform allows RTMP live stream feeds, then you can stream there. So as long as they allow live stream feeds, you can stream there with that RTMP option that I went over in the destinations tab. They will accept your stream. So let me know if I'm understanding you. Okay, so we just clicked create a broadcast. Now we get to choose where we're going to go. So for multi-streaming, it's as easy as selecting multiple destinations. So I could stream to my YouTube, I could stream to my LinkedIn, Facebook, Facebook group, Facebook page. I can go on and on and on to add almost all of my destinations. Now, when you're on the free plan, you can only stream to one destination. So YouTube, for example. But as soon as you upgrade to the basic plan, you can have 3. And then up to the pro plan, you can have up to 8 destinations for multi-streaming. Now for this demo, I'm not going to multi-stream. I'm just going to go to YouTube because it makes it really easy to make your video private just for testing. But the next steps are pretty self-explanatory. This is going to be the title and description that's going to end up on YouTube. So you'll want to type in the title of your show and the description of your live stream show. And then your privacy is here. When you're streaming a live stream, normally you'll want to make it public. But for this demo, I'm going to make it unlisted, just so that it's private so that's not on my channel. It's private, but I can still send the link to anyone. Okay, Larry says, yes, I want to do a pay-per-view type application for virtual shows. That's a great idea. So we have 2 ways we recommend for doing a pay-per-view. So Larry, you're wanting to sell tickets to your virtual show. And so one way to do that is to use ViewStub. ViewStub is a company that allows you to sell tickets and then they kind of password protect your live stream. So only the people who've purchased tickets for your show can view the live stream. And then what you'll do is you'll set up ViewStub, and then you'll just stream from StreamYard to ViewStub with the RTMP option. Now, the second way is to just easily sell tickets on Eventbrite. Eventbrite is a great way to kind of get email registrations and also collect money, so sell tickets. And then you'll just send them the link to wherever you're streaming to. You could stream an unlisted YouTube like I'm doing today. I'm doing it unlisted. You can just send that link out to only the people who've purchased a ticket with Eventbrite. Okay, so we're back here making my title, my description. I already did privacy, and then let's talk about scheduling for later. So this is another great feature other than multi-streaming that StreamYard allows you to do, which is just promoting your stream ahead of time. So when you click schedule for later, you can upload an image, like an advertisement image, a promo image, and then you can pick the time so that everyone knows in advance that, okay, Dana's gonna be live on her YouTube channel at, let's say 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. We can do 2 o'clock p.m. This is just an example test for this demo. And then it's always going to be in the time zone of your computer. So make sure that your computer is just in the right time zone and your show will come out on the right time zone. Okay, I'm not going to upload an image for this demo, but this is where you would. So I'm going to schedule it for later and click create. Okay, now it's added to all my upcoming broadcasts. We see it here. We see I scheduled it for 2 o'clock. This time doesn't really matter because I'm just going to go live right now once we enter the broadcast studio. But like I said, we've already talked about these links here in the 3 dots, but just a reminder to get back here. If I was going to invite my on-screen guest, I would send them this link. And then if I wanted to shoot all my viewers, all my audience members, I would send them my view on YouTube link. But now we are ready to enter the studio. Okay, now we are entering the studio. We'll always get that little pro tip there. And we come up on screen and we get to do a camera test, a mic test. You can change these settings a little bit if you want to. And then this is also the same page that your guest sees. So your guest will click on your guest link. They'll get to do their own camera mic test to make sure all their devices are working before they enter your studio. And then they get to choose their name, of course. And you could change the guest's name. Like say I only put, say I was a guest and I just typed in Dana and you wanted me to say Dana Bentz from StreamYard with the right capitalization, something like this, Dana Bentz from StreamYard. You can change my name if you were the host. So I'm just going to stick with that, Dana Bentz from StreamYard, and now I'm ready to enter. So now we're going to go into the broadcast studio, and here we go. So this is where all the magic happens. This is your studio where you're going to put together your live stream. So let me remove my logo just so you can see everything in the studio. Here we go. Okay, so now the goal of the studio is just to add things to the live stream, right? So all of these things on the right-hand side, we're going to go through each of these, but our goal is to add all these things to the live stream. And this huge rectangle box that says spotlight up here, this is the output. This is the video output. So everyone who's watching me on YouTube is going to see what I put here in this box. So make sure, so it says you're not part of the stream yet here down below, click to add your audio video. Make sure you do that first because you'll want to add yourself to the stream or else no one can see you or hear you. Okay. Mark says, do you have different backdrops? Yes, we do. So you can upload, we'll talk about backgrounds in a minute. You can upload any kind of background image that you want to. So I have this blue-green one uploaded here, but we're going to talk about the brand tab and how you could change it down here to just black. This is our standard one. I uploaded this pink one and this blue one, and then also this colorful one for my show. But you can change your backdrop. Now, if you're talking about the backdrop behind me, we don't have virtual backgrounds. But if you have a green screen behind you, like a chroma key green screen behind you in your webcam, you can upload a green screen image. So I'll show you how to get to that, that setting. So you click settings to get there, and then you just go to green screen. And if I had a green screen behind me here, I would be able to upload an image and it would show as the image instead of what my studio is back behind me. Okay. So we are here. Let's start at the top. We're going to start with the comment section up here. Thank you for your question, Mark. And this is where all your comments are going to come in. So you're going to stream to wherever you're going to stream, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and all the comments on your video from all your viewers are going to come here into the comments section. And they're all going to show up here. So I'm streaming to you guys on YouTube. So I see all of your comments here in this section over in my other studio, and I'm able to click on them just like this to show them on the screen. So I have profer.com says, hi, I'm Richard from Paraguay. Very cool. Thank you for tuning in. Where does the image appear when scheduling the date for the broadcast? Does it appear just in YouTube as a banner as the one you had in the beginning? So when you upload an image for the scheduled broadcast, that will show up on YouTube as the scheduled video. So it'll be, instead of having this video, it'll show up. I can show you on this demo. I could show this image full screen, and that would show up on YouTube just like that. So it'd be like a scheduled YouTube image. And that's how it shows up. And it's similar to Facebook. So it's kind of just like a cover image that's just as big as the video output, kind of advertising your show. And Prover says, can I make visible the comments of the chat? Absolutely. So this is where you'll make the comments visible. So you can show them like this. You can click to hide them, click to show them, just as easy as that. And it's not automatic. So you always have to click on them when you want to show them on screen. And we did this because just in case you didn't want to show certain comments, they're not just going to automatically pop up onto the screen. Okay. Leah says, I'm late. No problem. Will this be replayed? Absolutely. So I'll send you the link after the show, Leah. I'll send everyone the link after the show so you can watch it at any time. I'll keep this video up. Prover says, thank you. You're so welcome. What's the difference between StreamYard and YouTube live streaming? That's a great question. So YouTube lets you go live on YouTube directly, but you don't have all of these features and you don't have the ability to multi-stream. So we're going to talk about all the branding features, all the lower thirds features. And we already talked about how you can multi-stream to a lot of platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. You can stream your one video to all of those places. Leah says, thank you. Absolutely. Thanks for asking your questions, guys. Okay, we got to run through this. So we have a few more tabs here on the right, and then we're actually going to go live up here at the top. So banners are lower thirds. So you've been seeing me show these banners. Let me add myself to the stream here. There we go. Now I'm on screen. And when I show banners, they'll just look like this. So I have my what is StreamYard banners. I have my why should you live stream banners, and they just show up as lower thirds on my video. You can add new ones at any time. Like I can create a banner and say, welcome. And then I can add this one to the screen just by clicking on it, just like that. So I can do that while I was live, or I can come in here and prepare my show and add all of my banners that I want to here. Mohammed says, thanks. Absolutely. Yes, George, absolutely. I'll email you. I'll email you the link to this recording so you can watch it back. No problem that you haven't seen the whole thing. I know all our schedules are crazy. Now they can also be moving banners. So we call this a ticker that's just scrolling down here at the bottom. So this is great for calls to action. Like when you're wanting a call to action is like sign up for StreamYard or follow my blog or subscribe to my YouTube channel. So telling people things, this is a great way for that. Now, so this is it in the banners tab. So it's as easy as that. You can click to add them, click to remove them, click to add a different one, just like that. But the brand tab is really where you can customize your streams to fit your brand, to fit your own personal brand. So at the top, you have color. The color changes a couple of things. So it'll change how the comments appear, how your name appears, and then how the banners appear. So when I change the theme, you'll be able to see the color change a lot more. So this is the much more colorful theme. And I can switch my brand color here by clicking. If I want to change it to blue, I could change it to blue, and it changes my banner. It changes my ticker there, my scrolling banner. And if I had a comment up here, it would look a lot different than it did before. It's a lot bigger, more in your face, a little bit different than this theme, where it's a lot smaller, more blackish gray color. Little less noticeable, little less blocking the screen. So it really depends on what the style is of your show. But this is how the themes will appear. Now the next one's logo. So when you're on StreamYard's free plan, you'll have our Powered by StreamYard logo up there. And I'll take myself down so you can see it fully. Just looks like that, Powered by StreamYard. Yep, and Mark says, how about logos? So you'll have to upload your own logo right here. But they can be any square image that you just upload to the stream. Now I have a show called StreamYard Spotlight, so I have all these different kind of logos that I made. I think I made these on Canva, which is a great logo creator. And they can also be moving. So if you wanted to upload a GIF file, it could be a moving logo, which is kind of neat. I don't really use this one ever. I just use this one for my Spotlight show. But here's where you'll upload them. Okay. Now the second section is overlays. So let me put myself back here on the screen, and I'll take my comment down like that. And now overlays cover the entire screen. So if I showed a full screen image like this one, this is my image for this for our StreamYard Spotlight show, where we spotlight members of the StreamYard community who do really neat and interesting shows. We're actually going to be live tonight on StreamYard's Facebook page if you guys want to watch. So images can be full screen like this one. This one would be covering me and covering my guest, or they can be transparent images like this one. It's kind of covering me. Like if I were to block it, it's blocking me instead of the other way around. So you can make your own transparent images, and we actually have a template for this one. If you want to take a look at this template, it's on our YouTube channel, and you can make it your own and customize it. So Profer says, so we prepared the lower thirds beforehand or at the time of the broadcast, and we decide to show them just as the comments hide show. Exactly. So you'll prepare them at any time, just like you said, beforehand or while you're actually live. It's up to you. And then you decide to show them just by clicking on them. So you click on them to show them, click on them to hide them. Exactly. You got it right. Leah says, I'm a part of StreamYard, but I can't find where it is. LOL, to get started, not tech savvy for sure. No problem, Leah. So this is a great 101 webinar for if you've never used StreamYard. So you'll be able to go through. You can go through the studio with me to be able to use it. But make sure you watch the recording back if you missed part of it, or if you think I went too fast through anything. Absolutely. So Mohammed says, could I use StreamYard for 24 hours or is it a limited time? So when you're on StreamYard's free plan, you get 20 hours of live streaming per month, 20 hours per month on the free plan. And as soon as you upgrade, you can stream unlimited amount of time. The different social media platforms have some limits, like Facebook, you can only stream for 8 hours, but you'll just have to check with each of your platforms. But on StreamYard, unlimited time. Mark says, can you split screen if interviewing? Yes, Mark. And we have a couple more things to cover in the brand tab, but then I'll be bringing on my guest here shortly. So you'll be able to see what it looks like for an interview. Okay. So we talked about overlays. So they can be full screen images, partial screen images. Overlays are just full screen images that cover the stream, whether they're transparent or not. The next section is video clips. And this is the last section other than backgrounds, which we already kind of touched on. Video clips are really any less than 5-minute video clip that can be a video countdown timer to begin your show. Like this is just an example. I'll show you this one. So I could start my show off with that countdown timer, or they could just be like advertisement videos, like this one's an advertisement for StreamYard. Just like that. So they can be anything less than 5 minutes, video clips here. They can be uploaded to StreamYard, and you can play them at any time throughout the live stream. Now, if your video is longer than 5 minutes, you'll just want to screen share that, which is down here at the bottom. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. But less than 5 minutes, you'll want to upload it. If it's longer than 5 minutes, screen share. Okay, the last section here in the brand is backgrounds. This is the last part of the show that you can really customize. But you see, if I switch my background when I'm in the live stream, you don't see it change because I'm full screen here. But as soon as I add a guest, I'll be able to show you how the backgrounds change. The private chat is just being able to chat with your guests backstage. And then settings, we already talked a lot about the settings here. Different settings you'll find here, some guest settings, general broadcast quality settings, things like that. We won't go too much into detail with that. Dudley says, I use text expander. Will this work on StreamYard? Dudley, I'm not sure what text expander is. Is it text enlarging so you can see it a lot clearer? Let me know if that's what you're using. I'm not familiar with text expander, but let me know. Okay, so we talked about all of these tabs here on the right. Now I'm ready to invite my guest, Kelsey. She's going to be joining me on my stream. So all I do is click the invite button, and then I get my pop-up with my link. I copy the link, and now I go over here to send her the link. I'm just sending it in a Slack message to her now. And she's going to be able to click on that link and then join me in my studio. So you'll be able to see her join me in my studio. You'll see where she pops up in just a minute. But before she comes on, I'll just touch on these couple of little settings at the bottom. Oh, there she is. Kelsey's right there. Before I bring her on, I want to talk about, so you can have the mute mic button, the stop camera button. There's another settings button down here at the bottom, but this just takes you back to the other settings, and then screen share. So that's the only, other than the invite button and leaving the studio, those are the only other buttons at the bottom. So now Kelsey's in my studio. You can see her here at the bottom, but she's not on screen with me. So she wouldn't be in my live stream yet. So you'll want to add her, there she is. You want to add her to the stream first just by clicking on her. So I bring her up like this. Hey, Kelsey.
Hey, Dana.
Thanks for being my guest for this webinar.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. This is fun. So I added her to the stream by clicking on her. And then under the stream, we have different layout buttons. So I can click between this one to be able to see a background. So now I can show you how different backgrounds look. So I could do this one. This is a moving background, which is kind of fun. Or we could do a pink one, all kinds of different colors. If we wanted to just keep it simple, have people focused on you and I, we would just keep this black regular one. And Angel says, can you personalize the countdown clock you already have? You can't customize it, but that's a great feature request. The countdown timer that you have on your account is just our demo countdown timer, this black 30-second one. But I will submit that feature request for being able to customize it to your own brand. I think that would be really cool. To have your own, to maybe upload your own logo to the countdown timer, or maybe pick a color even. You think that would be cool, Kels?
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Some sort of template that is easily manipulated.
Exactly. Yeah, where you just easily upload your own customizations. Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, Mark says, so you don't need a manufactured sign or logo or any background to record. Nope, you don't need to have any graphics if you don't want any graphics, Mark. So you can just keep it simple. Like I could take everything down to show you what Kelsey and I would look like with nothing on here. If I remove my logo, we could just be like this. We could just record an interview like this. We can even turn
take the names off too.
Right, we can even turn our names off like this, and it's just an interview with us two. No graphics, no logos. Except for you see my logo right behind me on my computer screen, but that wouldn't be the case for you. That's a great question, Mark. So We're talking today about going live, but StreamYard also has a recording feature, which just lets you download the broadcast to your computer. And now you can repurpose it. You can upload it to any other platform. You can cut out maybe the highlights of the show. So the recording of the stream is really important for if you want to repurpose your content somewhere else. And we store the recordings for 15 days on StreamYard when you're on the paid plan. So make sure you download the recording to your computer first. Okay, Angel says, thank you. Yes, perfect. Frank says, guest settings. Do you mean I can do the settings for the remote guest? So you have a couple of settings for the guest, but there's a lot of things that the guest only has access to. So if Kelsey wanted to turn off her camera and just have an audio avatar, we call them avatars, she would be the only one that's able to do that. There she goes. So she just uploaded that image and that is her audio avatar, and I can't manipulate that for her. She has the full control over that. Now, since she's unmuted, I have the ability to mute her. I can just click mute like that, and now she's muted, and I can unmute her too. So there's a couple.
And in that case, I get a message on my screen as the guest that says the host has muted your mic.
Yeah, exactly. So the guests are aware of what you're doing on your end. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So
it is important to note, I think, though, that if the guest mutes themselves, the host cannot unmute them.
That's right. Yep. That's a great reminder. So say you muted yourself, Kelsey. So I'll show our display names. So if you mute yourself, so now she's muted. We see her little mute mic button. So if I try to unmute her like this, it'll give me an error. You can't unmute your guest because they chose to mute themselves. For privacy reasons, we want the guests to be able to have that control. But now she can unmute herself.
As the host, it's important to let your guests know that it's best to keep themselves unmuted if you're wanting to control the stream.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great point. Frank says, great, thanks. And your guest is lovely. Thank you. I think she's lovely too. Thank you for joining me, Kelsey. This is very helpful. So I want to touch a little bit more on the layouts. So we've already talked about all the graphics and things like that, but this is really how you can move. You can really manipulate how it looks when you have a guest. So I could put my background image up here. I can move Kelsey into the featured spot just by dragging and dropping her if I want her to be in the bigger box. Or we can just be side by side like this. We can be a little bit more zoomed in. And if I wanted to be on the other side, I just drag and drop just like that, as easy as that. And I can also be full screen over top of her if I wanted to, or I could full screen her off on top of me, just like this. We're both still in the live stream, so you would be able to hear both of us in the video, but it's just one of us at a time. So that's how you manipulate all of the views, all of the layouts. And these layouts over here on the right-hand side, these are for if you're screen sharing. So how the screen share is going to look on your live stream. So I could show you those in our webinar here. So I could show you the smaller layout for the PowerPoint presentation or the video presentation. So you see my computer is a lot smaller and me presenting, I'm a lot bigger. So we also have that option, or you can full screen the computer. If you wanted to just see our demo, we also have that layout as well. But I like seeing myself beside my computer just like this. This is my favorite layout. Okay, a couple more questions. Dudley says, can my viewers record? So your viewers just get to see you on the platforms. And when you live stream to a platform like YouTube or Facebook, they store the video on there. So your viewers can watch you on the platforms because that video will stay up there. So your viewers can watch the recording after the stream there. I hope I understood that question right, Dudley. Let me know. So before I answer, we're going to go into the live Q&A portion of our webinar, but first I want to go live. So I'm going to click up here in the top right. I see go live, and I'll let my guests know, hey, we're about to go live. Are you ready? She'll say probably yes. We get this little error that says, hey, you're not scheduled until 2 p.m. Are you sure you want to go live? You can go live. So for this demo purpose, I'm just going to go live. And we wait a couple seconds and then we are live and we get this little notification. Hey, you guys are live on YouTube. This is just a test, but I could be interviewing my guest. I could announce the show in this layout, and then I want to drag Kelsey when I'm asking her a question. I want to feature her there. I can show my banners at any time during the live.
The guest also gets a notification that the broadcast is live. It shows in the middle of the screen when the host clicks to go live, and then they see the little red rectangle in the top left corner. The guest also sees that.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. So the guest also sees this top left live thing so that they know that you are live on whichever platform you're live on, just so that the guest's aware. Yeah. And then, yep, you're seeing me add all of these things while we're actually live. I could create a new banner while we're live. Like welcome to the show. Maybe I want it to be a scrolling one, and I send that on the stream, welcome to the show. And then once I'm finished with the show, maybe I remove Kelsey because I'm done interviewing her. I'll say goodbye. She'll say goodbye. I'll say thanks for being on the show. I just remove her just like that. Now she's still backstage down there, so I could always add her back if I wanted to, but I'm just going to close out the show. I'll say thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next week. And then I click end whenever I'm ready to end the broadcast. And in just a couple of seconds, it'll be ended just like that. And it'll say the broadcast is ended. Now we always ask for your feedback because we're always trying to improve at StreamYard. So let us know how it goes. But we have a couple of links to talk about. I'll bring Kelsey back up because you can always talk to your guests after the show. Sometimes that's fun to just debrief how the show went. And I want to keep Kelsey up here for the live Q&A part because Kelsey also knows quite a bit about StreamYard. You might run into her in the StreamYard live customer support chat that we have. Mm-hmm. So the last two things that we have to cover are these links up here. The first one just takes you back to the viewer link. This is my view on YouTube link because I went live to YouTube. I could send that out to anyone. I could send that out to Kels and say, hey, you were a great guest on my stream. Can you share this link to the live stream? And then the second one is downloading. So the download recording button is super important because this is, like I said, the recording that you can download to your computer within 15 days. And then you can share that out wherever you want to share it. So this is different than just sharing the YouTube link because this is actually the video file that you're able to download. But then I also want to note this download audio only button. This is really great for if you're a podcaster or if you want to start a podcast. So a really easy way to start a podcast is to download your audio, and this won't have the video in it, right? It's just the audio from our interview. I would download that to my computer, and then I can upload it to any of my podcasting platforms. And we recommend Anchor. It's called anchor.fm, and it's a great place for creating a podcast for free. So it's really easy to use. You just upload the audio file, and that's it. Now you've kind of created a podcast, and now you have both a podcast and you have the live stream. So two forms of content right there, right off the bat. So now we are done with our live demo. I think we've touched on almost every feature of StreamYard. So now I want to open it up to you guys and see what questions you have. So I know we have quite a few questions here. So Mohammed says, StreamYard will connect with every social community like Facebook, or is it just with the StreamYard app? I'm not sure if I understand what you mean, Mohammed. StreamYard does connect with Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Twitch, but if it's not connected with your social media community, you can see if your social media community will accept live stream feeds, the RTMP option like we talked about. But if they don't, then you can't stream there with StreamYard. So let me
Additionally, when you are streaming with StreamYard, you do have to originate the streams on the StreamYard page, and then you go live and it sends it to your social media destination. So you're not going live like on Facebook, you're going live on StreamYard, and you're just connecting Facebook as a destination.
Got it. Yeah. Thanks for that clarification.
I hope that helps. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you're only on StreamYard, and then when you're on StreamYard, you're sending that live stream to the platforms,
right?
To Facebook, to YouTube. Yeah. Thank you, Kels. Ernst says, hi, is 3 the maximum persons on screen? Kelsey, I'll let you answer that.
No, it's not. So 3 is what it says in the little layouts below the screen. So I can see how that's a little confusing. But on the free plan, you can have up to 6 people on screen at a time. And you can use the variety of different layouts to situate them differently. And on the free plan, you can have up to 10 people in the studio, but then you have 6 on screen max. And then on the basic and the pro paid plans, you can have 10 people in the studio and you can actually bring all 10 on screen. So 10 is the maximum amount of people you can have on screen on our top plan.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. So Mark says, we're getting so many questions, you guys. Thank you so much. And I know we only have 9 more minutes of our demos, so hang in there with me. If I don't get your questions answered, just hop into our live chat at streamyard.com/contact, and we'll be sure to answer all your questions. Totally. Mark says, so you can record Dana and then play on the platforms later if you want to. So you can go live. You can record your live stream and then upload it as a video later. But what you can't do is schedule anything to happen later without you being there. So whenever you're going live on StreamYard, you have to be here to actually click go live. Even though you're scheduling it for a later date, at that later date, you have to come into the studio and actually make things happen. If you're sharing a recording, you have to be here to actually click go live, pull up your recording, screen share it into StreamYard, and then that's how you're able to share it. And then Mark also says, follow up, but I could send the recorded link to others. So the recording isn't a link, it's a file that you're downloading to your computer, but you can easily upload that anywhere and turn it into a link. Like you can upload it to Google Drive, which is free, and then Google Drive will let you share it with a link. You can also do that for Dropbox and things like that. Angel says, do you have to have a YouTube channel? No, you don't. You can stream to just your Facebook, just your Twitter, just your LinkedIn. You can skip YouTube entirely. I like YouTube because it's really easy to send this link out to people. It's really easy to change your privacy settings if you want to do a private live stream. But you don't have to have a YouTube channel and you don't have to stream to YouTube.
You can also just record your streams. And I know a lot of people do that when they want to edit it and splice it up later. They just do a record only stream and they don't actually stream live anywhere. And then they put it into their editing software of choice and edit it to their will. And then they distribute it that way. So you don't actually need a social media channel in order to use StreamYard. But obviously for the multi-streaming feature, you do connect your social channels.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Dudley says, we'd like to protect the content which has been aired. So while they can't watch it live, we don't want them to have a permanent recording afterwards. Oh, I see. So a great way to do this is, so it depends where you're streaming to, Dudley. It's really easy when you stream live to YouTube to go back in later and just change it to private. Now no one can go back and watch that live stream, or you can even delete it. So no one can actually watch that. On Facebook, on the other platforms, it's a little bit different. You're just manipulating the privacy on the posts. You can also always delete any content you don't want people seeing again. Like if you don't want them to watch anything, that's no problem. Just delete your video. Yep. Mark says, I thought it was Anchor Wave. Oh, I'm not sure. I think it's Anchor.fm, the podcasting platform. I think Wave is the video creator platform where you can create like intro videos and things like that. I'm not sure.
Anchor.fm is the podcasting site.
Okay, Anchor.fm. Perfect. Thank you. So Rogers Fitness says, do you integrate with any email marketing software? We don't at this time, but it has been a feature that's been requested quite often. So we may add it in the future as some kind of integration. Kels, what do you recommend for email marketing software now? Do you have any recommendations? Do you tell people to honestly, sign up for?
What I tell people is that we do. I mean, we offer the invite link, obviously that can access your Gmail or your Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
And that's like that's the only email integration that's directly from the StreamYard platform. So
Right.
what I tell people if they're really needing something like that, is to sort of like use that invite link and maybe just take the invite link out and put in the information about the show.
Gotcha.
And like send it out to their contact list.
Yeah.
But I know that that doesn't really answer the question. It's not a solution.
So I know the other thing, the other thing we do recommend when people are selling tickets are telling them to invite people to the Eventbrite event. And that's where you can collect emails to be able to send all the people who signed up for your event. You can send them, like you have a list of all the people who signed up and you can just send them all the link. So that would be that's not an email marketing software, but that would be another way to kind of get your emails in so that you can email them the link. There's also a company called ConvertKit, which allows you to set up like landing pages where it could be like danabence.com/live. And then you would be able to type in your email address and see when I'm live next. That's a great way to collect emails as well. I don't think it's free, but they might have a free plan. So the two I would look into are just Eventbrite, which is kind of more for setting up an event for your live stream, or ConvertKit. That's what I would probably recommend. Okay. Our Lady of Hope says, can I record on StreamYard or do I need to connect Facebook first? You can record on StreamYard. Yep. So you don't have to go live anywhere. When you're on the paid plans of StreamYard, you can do what's called a record only. So you're not streaming live anywhere. You're just doing a recording. When you're on the free plan, you do have to pick a destination to go to. But you could go to Facebook as a private stream if you wanted to. Muhammad says, thanks. Mark says, can you edit your recording if not live? Kelsey, I'll let you answer that one if you want.
Not on the StreamYard platform directly, but if you are on the basic or pro plan, all live streams are recorded. And then obviously if you're doing the record only feature, that's recorded as well. And you can download the MP4 file onto your computer and then upload it into any editing software. So if you have a Mac, you could use iMovie or Premiere or your editing software of choice. But StreamYard doesn't offer an editing software within the platform.
Yep, exactly. That's a perfect answer. So there's so many other video editors you can use, like iMovie or like Adobe. There's so many out there. Even YouTube has some editing features. When you stream there, you can like trim your video. But yeah, and Muhammad said, yes, live streaming so easy. You don't have to edit and waste time. That's so true. Live streaming just it just cuts all that time out because it's a live video, and once we're done, that's it. We're not going to go back and edit things out or change anything in our live stream. But you can if you want to, if that's the style of your show, by all means. Or if you want to clip out things, if you want to take out things like the highlight reels, you can do that. So I think we're out of questions today. So I want to say thank you so much to my guest, Kelsey. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me on. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. And to everyone else, thank you so much for tuning in to today's live 101 webinar. We were so happy to have you here, interact with you, see what kind of questions you have on StreamYard. And I'm so excited to see what you start live streaming about. So if you have any other questions, like I said, reach out to us at streamyard.com/contact. But we will see you streaming soon. So thank you everyone for watching.